August the 1st, 1936, the world came to celebrate sport. The spectacle began in Berlin, where the Summer Olympics were held, and all eyes were there. But in the opening itself, there was a sense of tension that this would not be the ordinary games. The various salutes that were given, the medals, the flags, and the very appearance of it gave the meaning that after these games nothing would be the same. Hitler and his associates devotedly watched the spectacle and admired their power, which the whole world could see now. Hitler utilized these games to demonstrate to the world that Germany was a different nation now, stronger than ever, and that it was prepared for war. Many countries tried to boycott the games because of these messages, but in the end, they still chose to participate. One man who caught Hitler's attention was Hans Otto Woellke. Because of this man, later in the war would suffer more than 30,000 men, women, and children. With a height of 1.78 meters and a weight of more than 110 pounds, Woellke was a picture of how a true Aryan should look like, a propaganda that the Germans spread during their time. Woellke competed in shot-put discipline, and with an incredible series of throws and additional motivation from the entire stadium, he won the gold medal, further straightening his position in German propaganda. Everything was about him. He was no longer an ordinary athlete. He became an icon of German sport and propaganda. He later participated in the European Championship in Paris in 1938, where he won a bronze medal. Outside of his sports career, Woellke was an ordinary man and served in the German police. Later, due to his success in the Olympics, he was promoted from an ordinary policeman to a police captain in Berlin, Germany. September 1st, 1939 is the day that will forever be remembered in world history. With the attack on Poland, Germany started World War II, which took millions of lives and left devastation and pain behind, which we still remember and feel today. The tension and fear that were felt during the Olympic Games came true. The power that Germany presented during the Olympic Games was felt through all of Europe. Millions died, millions lost their homes, and families fell apart only because they didn't want to see the bigger picture that Hitler showed them during the Olympic days. That was a war of annihilation. On one side, German fascism or the Aryan race, and on the other side, all other groups, the Jews, Slavs, and the rest of the communist states. Most of the small village Soviet territory were devastated or wiped out, and the people who were caught during the battles were killed or imprisoned. Those were hard times for the Soviets. They were caught off guard and did not have enough time to respond to the German army, which in a short period of time took most of the Soviet territory and was knocking on the gates of Moscow. But we all know that in hard times heroes are born. This time it was the partisans who played a significant role in disrupting the German army with their guerrilla tactics, giving the Soviet army time to consolidate its ranks. Why talk about this? Because they were the ones who killed Germany's most beloved athlete, Hans Otto Woellke. In 1943, Hans was participating in Operation Belarus, region around Minsk, where the Germans were fighting hard with the partisans and trying to create a so-called dead zone, so they can isolate the partisans for supplies and communication with the Soviet generals. By the end of 1943, he was one of the 3 commanders who were deployed there. His unit was mainly made of Ukrainian auxiliary, and most of the time they operate with the Dirlewanger Brigade, one of the most evil brigades in the war. Mostly composed of rapists, criminals, and murderers, under control of Oskar Dirlewanger, convicted pedophile who was imprisoned for raping a 13-year-old child. One morning, Woellke was traveling in a convoy of 3 vehicles on a routine control outside of Minsk when suddenly, from peaceful mooring, guns and bullets disrupt the area. The partisans launched an ambush and killed Woellke and all of his associates, leaving no one alive and leaving only blood and devastation. Until the reinforcements arrived, everything was done. Nobody around, only blood and dead bodies. The word spread rapidly and got to Hitler's ears. On the way back, carrying the bodies of Woellke and his associates, the reinforcement killed more than 30 innocent civilians in sign of revolt for their dead colleagues. The partisans retreated to a nearby village and tried to hide among the locals who were living there. It was a bad move, considering that the reinforcements that was arriving was the Deer Brigade, the most gruesome brigade in the war. The end was horrible. Together with the former commander in the Red Army and now collaborated with the Nazis, Hirohi Waizura surrounded the village and took all the villagers outside of their homes. With brutal force, they put them in a shed and set them on fire. More than 100 people, including 75 children at the age of 16, were burned alive that day, and those who were trying to get out were shot by a machine gun that was set outside of the shed. Then they looted the village, took everything, and set it on fire as a reminder of what was going to happen to the next village when they arrived. A few of the villagers managed to survive this war, and now they are speaking about what they survived that day. One of them is Viktor Andreevich, who was 8 at the time. He survived thanks to his mother, who covered him with her body as the flames burned her back. She was trying to keep her son alive and give him a few more moments of life in this world. Village after village, the death of gold medalist Hans Otto Woellke will be remembered as one of the gruesome acts on Soviet territory during the war, and the repentance of the gold medalist. Thank you for watching, my friends. Story from the Frontier here. See you in the next one.